Stewart's The Big Bang Theory spinoff already has a replacement for all of the original cast except one. When CBS announced that the Big Bang Theory universe would continue through a new spinoff centered on Stuart Bloom, fans were both thrilled and puzzled. The soft-spoken comic book store owner, portrayed by Kevin Sussman, was never part of Sheldon Cooper's inner circle in the same way Leonard, Penny, or Raj were. Yet over 12 seasons, Stuart quietly became the sitcom's secret weapon, awkward, kind-hearted, and always on the edge of joining or replacing the main group. Now, in a world without Sheldon and his friends, Stuart finally takes center stage. What's most surprising is that early hints and casting reports suggest the Stuart spinoff may be recreating the Big Bang Theory dynamic in an entirely new way, essentially assembling a replacement crew for every major member of the original cast, with one striking exception. It's not just nostalgia. It's an evolution of the formula that made the Big Bang Theory one of TV's longest-running comedies. Stuart Bloom steps into Leonard Hofstadter's shoes. In The Big Bang Theory, Leonard Hofstadter Johnny Galecki was the heart of the show, the emotional glue that held the friend group together. He was the one who navigated between the eccentric genius of Sheldon and the relatable social world outside their Pasadena apartment. In many ways, Stuart now becomes the bridge. In his spin-off, Stuart isn't just a comic book store owner anymore. He's a reluctant mentor, an older geek trying to make sense of a new generation of fandom. Like Leonard, he's awkwardly straddling two worlds, the nostalgia of the past and the ever-changing world of pop culture. Stuart's role as the Leonard figure makes sense because both characters are defined by humility and quiet resilience. Leonard put up with Sheldon's chaos. Stuart survived loneliness, heartbreak, and near bankruptcy with a shy smile. He's the everyman again, but now he's the main character in a universe that finally recognizes his worth. The new Penny, a spirited neighbor with heart and less filter. If The Big Bang Theory taught viewers anything, it's that the show needed a Penny. Kaylee Cuoco's Penny was the perfect counterbalance to the nerds, street smart, emotionally intuitive, and completely unafraid to challenge their logic-driven lives. The Stuart spinoff introduces its own version of that energy in Lily, a quirky tattoo artist who rents the apartment above Stuart's comic shop. Where Penny was a struggling actress, Lily is an alternative creative, fiercely confident, sarcastic, and surprisingly protective of Stuart. She doesn't mock geek culture the way early Penny did. Instead, she teases Stuart in a way that feels affectionate, even mentoring him in emotional intelligence. Lily's dynamic with Stuart mirrors Penny and Leonard's early days, a friendship that blurs the line between romantic tension and genuine companionship. The chemistry is familiar, but it's built on mutual respect instead of contrast. In a way, Lily feels like the modern evolution of Penny, not a cool girl next door, but a layered woman who fits in and stands out at the same time. Sheldon's replacement, a brilliant but socially clueless teen prodigy, replacing Sheldon Cooper seems impossible. After all, Jim Parsons' performance defined the Big Bang Theory's identity. But the Stuart spinoff takes a clever approach by not trying to copy Sheldon directly. Instead, it introduces a teenage customer named Elliot, a socially oblivious coding prodigy who frequents Stuart's store after school. Elliot's role is a smart inversion of the Sheldon archetype. He's not arrogant, just completely unaware of social norms. Where Sheldon demanded attention, Elliot passively receives it. He's the new super genius, whose odd comments and hyper-literal interpretations create natural comedic tension. But the key difference is mentorship. Stuart becomes a kind of accidental father figure. Instead of battling Sheldon's ego, Stuart nurtures Elliot's isolation. This shift gives the spinoff heart, exploring what happens when the once-forgotten friend becomes someone else's guide. In many ways, it's the emotional redemption arc Sheldon never offered Stuart. The Raj stand-in, the hopeless romantic roommate. Rajesh Koothrappali Kunal Nayar was always the romantic dreamer of the Big Bang Theory, and the Stuart spinoff finds that same energy in Darren, a fellow loner who ends up renting Stuart's spare room. Darren is a soft-spoken musician who shares Stuart's deep insecurities but masks them with optimism. Their friendship mirrors Leonard and Sheldon's living situation, but without the tension. It's more of a mutual support system between two men who've both had a rough go at life. Darren's exaggerated romantic escapades and frequent heartbreaks echo Raj's endless search for love, but his personality adds a layer of hope that Raj often lacked. In the original show, Raj's inability to talk to women was a running gag. In the spin-off, Darren's problem isn't shyness, it's trust. He's too quick to fall in love, and Stuart's cautious realism becomes his grounding force. Together, they form a friendship that feels like what Raj and Stuart's dynamic could have been if they weren't always the butt of the joke. The new Howard, a confident geek who actually has it together. Howard Wolowitz Simon Helberg was the Big Bang Theory's most flamboyant character, an engineer with a massive ego and a surprisingly soft heart. Instead of duplicating that, the spin-off gives us Tina, a confident, nerdy mechanical engineer who works nearby and frequents Stuart's store for parts to her robotics hobby. Tina is the new Howard, but gender-flipped and more emotionally mature. She's flirtatious, witty, and the only one in the group who's truly thriving professionally. Her presence keeps the group grounded, while her friendship with Stuart creates a sibling-like banter that gives the show its comic rhythm. In The Big Bang Theory, Howard was often the wannabe ladies' manual. Tina, by contrast, flips that trope. She's effortlessly charming, but uninterested in showing off. Her success highlights one of the spin-off's major themes: how geek culture has evolved since The Big Bang Theory ended. Nerds aren't outcasts anymore, they run the world. Amy's replacement. The intellectual with emotional curiosity, Amy Farrah Fowler-Mann Bialik was a transformative addition to the original cast, an intellectual who grew from awkward isolation to emotional depth. The Stuart spin-off brings in Dr. Naomi Lynn, a psychologist who occasionally hosts pop culture therapy sessions at the comic shop to help socially anxious teens. Naomi represents the same academic intelligence as Amy, but she's more extroverted and self-aware. Her friendship with Stuart starts professionally. She rents space for her group sessions, but evolves into genuine camaraderie as she encourages him to face his chronic loneliness. She's not a romantic interest, at least not initially, which helps redefine the role Amy once filled. Instead, Naomi serves as the show's emotional center, someone who observes the group, gently guides them, and gives the spin-off the heart that The Big Bang Theory found in its later seasons. The Bernadette energy. Fierce, funny, and small but mighty, Bernadette Rostenkowski Melissa Roch brought a fiery contrast to the original gang, small in stature but huge in personality. The Stuart spin-off mirrors that presence through Rosa, Lily's best friend and business partner at the tattoo parlor. Rosa's energy is pure Bernadette, fast-talking, blunt, and full of chaotic comedic timing. Rosa often acts as the voice of reason, or the devil on someone's shoulder, pushing Stuart and Lily into misadventures that keep the show's humor sharp. She's confident, unapologetically weird, and provides that distinct rhythm of overwhelming small package humor that made Bernadette so memorable. The one character who can't be replaced, Sheldon Cooper. Even though every Big Bang Theory archetype seems to have a successor, there's one figure who looms too large to duplicate: Sheldon Cooper himself. Jim Parsons' Sheldon wasn't just a character, he was the show's gravitational center. Every other member of the group orbited his peculiar logic and larger-than-life quirks. Trying to recreate him would feel artificial, and wisely, the Stuart spin-off doesn't try. Instead, it treats Sheldon as a mythic off-screen presence. There are mentions, perhaps even the occasional email or reference,